Hello everyone, this is IS323Unit3 Recording. The reading this week is Tutorial 3, Designing a HTML Layout, and Tutorial 4, Graphic Design with CSS. The initial post for the discussion is due Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. You're to respond to the two elements of the discussion. Discuss some of the benefits and potential drawbacks of using styles on a website, including inline styles, internal style sheets, and external style sheets. Search the web for useful techniques involving styles. Select one of the techniques you find and describe how it works and how it would be used in a real website. Cite your sources using APA. Don't forget your in-text citation. You need 3 replies by Sunday, and you must include at least one open-ended question in one of your replies. The Unit 3 assignment is due Sunday. Complete the slate and pencil tutoring case problem 1 from Tutorial 3 of your textbook. You will edit the SP Home and SP Layout files, zip all the files together, and submit the zipped file. Using your editor, open SP Home and SP Layout. You're going to enter your name and date in the comment section of each file and save them, deleting the txt part in there. Then you're going to go to SP Home, and you're going to create links to the style sheets. There's 3 of them. Here's an example of the link that you need to use. Study the content and structure of the file and then save your changes to the document. Go to SP Layout file in your editor. Go to the Windows and Body Styles and create a style rule that for the HTML element that sets the height of the browser to 100. So this is the HTML element, which will be up here, and then your height. Still under HTML, you have the body section. You're to set the width to 95%, the pixels from 640 to 960, horizontally center the HTML body within the browser window, and you want to ensure the height of the HTML body is always at least as high as the browser, so set the minimum height of the browser window to 100%. If you look on 176 and 178, it will help you with the rest of the code. That was in Windows and Body Styles still. Then create a style rule and apply the border box model to all header, UL, nav, LI, and A elements. So this is, you list them all, and then you're going to use, see you have them all listed here, and then you're going to use that code, but you need to go look on 192 to make sure you have it all correct. Then go to row styles. She's placed all the elements that should be treated as grid rows in a row class. For every element in the row class, create a style rule that expands the element to cover any floating content within the element, and it suggests you use the after pseudo element, page 195, and this is how it starts. So then you're going to go to the HTML header section. So the page header styles. You'll create styles for the content of the body header. Create a style rule for the logo image within the body header that displays the image as a block with a width of 70% of the header floated on the left margin. And that would be on page 169. The header also contains a navigation list that Karen wants to display vertically. Create a style rule for the nav element within the body header that A, floats the navigation list on the left, B, sets the size of the left and right padding to 2%, and C, sets the width of the navigation list to 30% of the width of the header. The hypertext links in the navigation list should be displayed as blocks. Create a style rule for every A element in the header navigation list that displays the element as a block with a width of 100%. Then you're going to go to the horizontal navigation list styles. Karen has added a second navigation list that she wants to display horizontally. For all list items within the horizontal navigation list, create a style rule that displays the items as blocks with a width of 12.5% floated on the left margin. Then go to the Topic Styles section. This section sets the styles for a list of 4 topics describing what the company is offering. Karen wants this list to also be displayed horizontally on the HTML. For list items within the UL element and the ID topics, create a style rule to A. display the items as blocks with a width of 20%, float the items on the left margin, and C. set the size of the left margin space to 0 and the right margin to 1.5. Karen wants the topics list to be well away from the left and right margins of the HTML body in the same section. Create a rule that sets the size of the left margin of the first element in the topic to 7.5 and sets the right margin of the last element to 7.5. So this is the example of the first element and then the last element. In the same section, create a rule that displays the image within each list item in the topics list as a block with a width of 50% and centered within the list item block. Hint, set the left and right margins to auto. And here's the example. Go to the HR Styles section. The HR element is used to display a horizontal divider between sections of the HTML. Add a style rule that sets the width of the HR element to 50%. Go to the Customer Comment Styles section. In this section, you will create a style rule for the customer comments displayed near the bottom of the HTML. For the UL element and with the ID comments, create a style rule that sets the width to 75% and centers the element by setting up the top-bottom margins to 40 pixels and the left-right margins to auto. Karen wants the list items to appear in 2 columns on the HTML. In the same section, create a style rule for each list item in the comments list that A. displays the item as a block with a width of 50% floated on the left, and B. sets the size of the bottom margin to 30 pixels. Every customer comment is accompanied by an image of the student. Karen wants these images displayed to the left of the comment. Create a style rule to display the image within each comment list item as a block with a width of 20%, floated on the left, and with a left-right margin of 5%. Create a style rule for each paragraph nested with a customer list item that floats the paragraph on the left margin with a width of 70%. Go to the Footer Style section and create a style rule that displays the footer only when both margins are clear of floating objects. Save your changes to the file and then open the SP Home HTML in your browser and verify that the layout and appearance of the HTML elements resemble that shown in Figure 366. So this is the before and after. The quiz for Unit 3 is due Sunday. You may only take it once. The second version of CSS, CSS2, was introduced in 1998, expanding the language to provide styles to position elements at specific locations on an HTML. Style comments can also be added to the embedded style sheets as long as they are placed between the opening and closing style tags. Know what specifies the color of the element's foreground. Appendix C12. Know what opacity is. HTML 100. Know what the wildcard selector is. HTML 109. Know what happens when you place the marker inside the virtual box. HTML 138. Know what the subscript and superscript styles do. Page 128. To prevent your browser from displaying address text in italic, what would you set the font style property to HTML127? What would you use to prevent a hyperlink from showing the underline HTML127? Know the attribute selector for the main class HTML112. The style border style bottom double single places a double border above and below the element and a single border on the element's left and right edges. Use the asterisk to apply the styles to every element nested within the body element. Oh, that was a new section. Sorry about that. WebKit, Mozilla, and Presto support similar extensions that mirror the CSS3 background size and background clip properties. Know what an outline is, page 216. Know what is the distribution of elements, page 245. Know the so I put it twice, sorry about that. Okay, I've listed in 2 places. I'm not sure which one it is. So look on both. The exact order in which external style sheets and embedded style sheets are processed by the browser depends on the order in which they are listed within the HTML file. One approach to retaining the consistency of web page text is to use relative units, which are expressed relative to the size of other objects within the web page. A reset style sheet that supersedes the browser's default styles and provides a consistent starting point for page design. The current version of both Firefox and Safari have adopted CSS3. That's all I have for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know.